Good morning. I'm Johanna Cano, Public Information Officer with Buncombe County Government, and this is your community briefing for Tuesday, November 26th. Today, we are joined by David Uchiyama and Tim Anderson with the North Carolina Department of Transportation and Hannah Vick with FEMA. But first, as always, we have County Manager Aber Pinder.
Good morning. In the spirit of Thanksgiving, I want to pause and give thanks for our One Buncombe staff, who has been working nonstop since before the storm hit to serve our community. Like our community, you have experienced loss, devastation, and destruction, but you've been here working tirelessly to help our residents, even if it means being separated from your loved ones and even sleeping on the floor at work. I also want to thank our media partners who have been here with us since day one, carrying our broadcasts, being connectors during a crisis. The impact of what you've done to get accurate information to our community cannot be understated. With that said, it boggles my mind that here we are, 2 months later, being distracted from our mission to serve Buncombe County because of rampant and sometimes intentional misinformation campaign. There's absolutely no scenario where our staff would deviate from our course of helping our community to prevent access to housing. Yesterday, instead of working to rebuild, our permits department had to field angry, misinformed calls because of what people choose to believe over inaccurate and well-informed Facebook posts. I will share with you what my charge has been, not just in storm response, but in recovery. We cannot and will not stop when it comes to finding solutions to help Buncombe County. Even yesterday, the Office of State Fire Marshal had to stop their operations to release a statement. Here's an excerpt. Recently, unsubstantiated accounts of local and state authorities removing Helene victims from tiny homes constructed by the Amish and other temporary structures have circulated on social media. The Office of the State Fire Marshal has investigated these rumors, including by contacting the local inspections department alleged to have forcibly vacated North Carolinians from these structures, and determined that they are entirely without merit. As of the date of issuance of this letter, which was November 25th, the Office of State Fire Marshal have evaluated each of the counties impacted by Hurricane Helene and found no credible evidence that any code enforcement official has forcibly evicted any citizen of the state from any temporary structures based on its non-compliance with the 2018 North Carolina Building Code. And if you're thinking of reposting something you've seen on social media from an unverified source or calling our office to complain, stop. While your intentions may be good, your actions are distracting and disruptive, and they do absolutely nothing to help our friends, neighbors, loved ones, and employees who have survived this storm. In addition to the physical responses of surviving Helene, we know there's also the emotional aspects of surviving. We know that even in good times, in good years, the holidays can be stressful. After the loss we've experienced this year will be even harder. There's free help available. Through the North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services Hope for NC Crisis Counseling Program, survivors experiencing stress, emotional fatigue, a mental health crisis, or who just need someone to talk to, can call the Hope for NC helpline. That's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at 855-587-3463. Services are provided at no cost and are available to anyone residing within the declared 39 North Carolina counties and tribal members of the Eastern Band of Cherokee Indians, regardless of your eligibility for FEMA financial assistance. In coordination with state government, FEMA's Crisis Counseling Program offers mental health services and training activities to help disaster survivors manage stress, cope with their experience, and connect with additional resources. These services are provided at no cost to survivors affected by the disaster and are delivered in accessible locations, including survivors' homes, shelters, temporary living sites, and places of worship. Survivors can access support in both one-on-one and in group settings. There's also help available for teens. Some things have partnered with the North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services to provide any teen across the state with free mental health services. To access, you can visit somethings.com. Additionally, the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration Disaster Distress Helpline is available anytime to provide support. Survivors and responders feeling overwhelmed can call or text 800-985-5990 to receive free confidential support in any language. An update on holiday closures. Our community care centers and water distribution sites will be open today and tomorrow, regular hours. They will be closed on Thursday for the holiday and open again on Friday. Important changes are coming to both community care stations and water distribution sites as potable water was returned to most homes. At the end of the day, on December 2nd, Monday, all water distribution sites and community care stations in both the city and county will close, with the exception of 4 community care stations in the most impacted communities. Those sites are Morgan Hill Baptist Church, 594 Barnersville Highway, Bethel United Methodist, 1050 Riceville Road, Owen Pool, 117 Stone Drive in Swannanoa, and Fairview Ingalls at 225 Charlotte Highway, which is by Reynolds High School. We will continue to assess the need, but these 4 sites will remain open to continue to serve residents in these highly impacted areas. Asheville Buncombe Rebuilding Together Grant Fund. Businesses have today and tomorrow to apply for the Asheville Buncombe Rebuilding Together Fund. For-profit businesses in Buncombe County and the city of Asheville are eligible to receive grants of up to $25,000 to support recovery expenses not covered by insurance or other funding sources. Applications are open through Wednesday, November 22nd, and can be found at mountainbizworks.org/abgrants. Applications are also available in Spanish. An update on storm debris removal. Buncombe County property owners in unincorporated areas and in cities impacted by Helene who do not have debris removal insurance may apply to have qualified disaster debris removed from their property at no cost through the private property debris removal program. The program also covers the demolition of eligible unsafe structures. Here are 3 things you need to know about PPDR, private property debris removal. You can visit one of our private property debris removal application centers to find out if you're eligible. They're located at the Asheville Mall, Barnersville Fire Department, Swannanoa Fire on Bee Tree Road, and Fairview Library. You can also apply online by going to www.buncombeready.org and select Helene Debris Removal. Private property debris removal is different from debris collection on public right-of-ways. Private property removal is where crews have to enter a property to collect debris. An example of this would be if flooding carried a neighbor's shed or trees came down in your backyard and you cannot get it to the right-of-way. Other storm debris removal. There are 45 trucks running in Buncombe County, removing debris from all zones. Debris removal will be a lengthy process, and we appreciate everyone's collaboration as we begin to clean up our homes and community. For more information on private property debris removal and other debris questions, call the One Buncombe hotline at 828-250-6100 and select option 2. A regular trash and pickup for recycling. Vaseboro would provide operating normal hours for household trash and recycling today, Tuesday, November 26th. Residents should use the transfer station or landfill if Wastepo is unable to access you. But please note, the landfill and transfer station will be closed on Thursday. They will reopen on Friday. On Wednesday, tomorrow, Wastepo would operate normal hours in accessible locations. There will be no trash pickup on Thursday, and pickup locations will be pushed back one day. So on Friday, trash pickup will be in Fairview and Arden, and on Saturday, trash pickup will be in Weaverville and Barnersville. Bag trash drop-off can be made from 8:30 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. on Wednesday at Hearts with Hands, Friday, Ingalls at Fairview, and Saturday, North Buncombe Pool. They're open until 1 p.m. at North Buncombe Pool on Saturday. Soon, residents will start receiving their trash and recycling bins from FCC, the county's new trash solid waste service provider. Don't miss your trash and recycling pickup in the new year. Sign up at fccenvironmental.com/Buncombe-County. That's fccenvironmental.com/Buncombe-County. The Low-Income Energy Assistance Program. This is an annual program that we offer. So while it's not specifically storm related, the North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services Low-Income Energy Assistance Program will begin applications from older adults 60 and older, or people with disabilities receiving services through North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services Division of Aging. That begins on December 2nd. The federally funded program helps low-income households with their one-time payment sent directly to your heating vendor to offset the high cost of warming their homes during the cold weather months. Low-income energy assistance program payments will be distributed automatically to heating vendors beginning in December 2024. If a member of the household meets the following three requirements: age 60 or older, or a person with disabilities receiving services through the Division of Aging, currently receiving food and nutritional services, and received a low-income energy assistance payment during the 2023-2024 season. Already enrolled households meeting the requirements for the automatic payment are being notified of their eligibility through November of 2024 and do not need to reapply for LIAP. Any household with a person 60 or older or have a disability and is receiving services through the Division of Aging who do not receive a notice of your automatic payments can apply online at epass.nc.gov. That is epass.nc.gov. If you'd like to apply, please call 800-250-5500 to apply by phone, or go to 40 Cox Avenue to apply in person, or print a paper application. Again, that is going to be from epass.nc.gov. You can mail that, fax it, or drop it off at the 40 Cox Avenue location. To be eligible for low-income energy assistance, a household must have at least one U.S. citizen or non-citizen who meets the eligibility requirements, have income equal to or less than 130% of the federal poverty level, and be responsible for the heating costs. Beginning in January of 2025, all other households who meets the eligibility requirements may begin applying. Applications will be accepted from January 2nd through March 31st of 2025, or until funds are exhausted. And finally, an update on housing recovery support. As our recovery support functions are addressing ongoing needs in the community, the North Carolina Short-Term Rental Alliance is working to offer emergency accommodations by connecting those who need shelter to available short-term rentals. The program is open for both accommodation seekers and accommodation providers to sign up. Both hosts and others who wish to offer up their homes for emergency accommodations, as well as families and individuals in need of shelter, can sign up at sdr-trust.com and click the button at the bottom of the page, at the top of the page. So again, you can sign up by going to sdr-trust FEMA.com and click the button at the top of the page. And now we'll turn it over to David Uchiyama and Tim Anderson from NCDOT.
Thank you and good morning. I'm David Uchiyama, Western Communications Manager for NCDOT. I'd like to begin by thanking Buncombe County, as well as our other municipal partners across Western North Carolina, as well as our industry partners who are helping NCDOT rebuild for our citizens. And I'm joined today by Tim Anderson, the Division 13 engineer, who will localize the information for Buncombe County shortly after I kind of provide an overview of some of the things happening in all of Western North Carolina. Since the storm occurred, access has greatly improved across our entire region. When TDOT opened one lane of I-26 on its side of the state line, it provided new access for 18-wheelers. And of course, as we know, 18-wheelers provide services as well as goods to all of Western North Carolina. NCDOT has reopened more than 1,100 roads since the storm, and we are reporting less than 270 closed across all of Western North Carolina. As of last week, 8,795 locations were identified as damaged. That includes 813 bridges and 852 culverts. Our engineers are currently working to refine estimates for the work that needs to be done, determine what can be done in-house, and working to draw up contracts that we can deliver with our industry partners for the site-specific repairs. Current general estimates are about $5 billion to restore roads, bridges, and other transportation infrastructure, according to our initial estimates. As we know, this is a holiday week, and just like any other year, with or without a major storm, traffic increases around Thanksgiving. Traffic patterns on a day-to-day basis have changed from the early days of the storm, and they continue to change. We encourage all drivers prior to departing to visit drivenc.gov. There, you will find real-time traffic information, as well as the best route to get from where you are to where you want to go. I-40 west of Asheville in the Pigeon River Gorge, we were talking about the traffic congestion and how it's changed. I-40 west of Asheville is actually seeing less congestion than normal due to the closure in the Pigeon River Gorge. But east of downtown on I-240 east, congestion has increased due to the closure of Swananoa River Road as well as US 70. In addition to those closures, one of the other contributing factors to congestion is the area is 18-wheelers attempting to take routes that are not designed for them. Once again, we ask that 18-wheelers stick to the approved routes. One of the most common topics and questions that we are dealing with regularly is what's happening in the Pigeon River Gorge on I-40. It remains closed and will be closed. That's important this week, especially for our visitors coming from greater distances. I-40 in the Pigeon River Gorge is closed in North Carolina. It will remain so approximately until January 1st, when it will open one lane in each direction. It will be slow going. Speed limit will be about 40 miles per hour. It will also be open for 18-wheelers. That's going to allow, it will be open for the 18-wheelers, and that will allow for better industry in Western North Carolina. The long-term restoration is still in discussion. A project manager, a designer, and a contractor have all been hired, but those discussions are still ongoing, very, very early in the process, and there is no cost estimate at this point in time. And with that, I will turn it over to Division 13 engineer Tim Anderson for information here on Buncombe County. Thank you.
Thank you, David. All right. I'm Tim Anderson. I'm the division engineer for Division 13. It's a 7-county region in Western North Carolina. I'm here to speak directly about Buncombe County. repair and recovery efforts. Our NCDOT crews after the storm have identified nearly 2,000 damaged sites within the county. Damage severity, it varies widely from a small site that may take a half a day to repair to a major repair like a bridge replacement or a major slide. So our crews have kind of transitioned from stabilizing temporary access, moving into more long-term repairs. We've got debris removal MOUs with the county and the city to work on the debris. That's one of our primary goals right now, is to get that moving forward. We have employees from our division here, plus employees from across the state working in Buncombe County, anywhere from 70 to 100 at any given time from other parts of the state. We also have crews from Kentucky, and we had crews from Tennessee for a while, or Florida, excuse me. Florida DOT brought up some temporary bridges for us, helped us get those installed. And just to kind of give you an idea, we've got 90 damaged bridges that are in Buncombe County, and we have 27 bridges that'll have to be replaced. Some of them are small bridges, some of them are larger bridges. I want to touch base on a few specific locations right quick. The US 70 bridge near exit 55. The concrete work is done. The storm actually washed out all of the material underneath the indent of the bridge, leaving it exposed. And so we had to develop a repair that included concrete repair around those piles to protect them. So that work's complete. Now we're working on backfill. Once the backfill is complete, then we'll pave. Our goal is to have that road open, Highway 70 back open through that section by the middle of December. Swananoa River Road. Contract crews have completed most of the field work between Fairview and Azalea. Grading crews returned this week to make the final preparations for paving through that section. The debris pickup hadn't started along Swananoa River Road, so we're waiting on times and dates for that and coordinating that work with the city. And then once those dates are set, we can start coordinating the rest of our repair work. The NC9 area, contract crews have completed the rock embankment repairs that didn't require specialty contractors. We have several slide locations that are going to require retaining walls. The contractors for the retaining walls have moved in, and they'll start that work. Once that's completed, the paving crews will move in, and we'll complete the work on NC9. NC 197, our crews have been working on permanent repairs on the slide locations on the existing gravel portions of the road. The roadway is passable, but 2-lane traffic and shoulder area, but not for 2-lane traffic, and there's shoulder areas that still need to be repaired. And we do have temporary bridge installations and the paving associated with that installation is ongoing right now in the area. And then David mentioned the traffic congestion. We're aware of that. We're working on optimizing signalization in the area to try to alleviate some of those congestion concerns. But until we get a couple more of the roads open in the Asheville area, we'll still experience that congestion. That.
And now we will hear from Hannah Vick with FEMA.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Again, my name is Hannah Vick, and I'm with the Federal Emergency Management Agency, and I'd like to share with you a few updates about our recovery programs here in Buncombe County. So far, FEMA has distributed more than $81 million to individuals and households just here in this county, which is money directly to those in need for housing and other needs assistance. Our programs are focused on helping families find safe, sanitary places to stay and to help them on their road to recovery. One of our programs that you might have already heard about is our Transitional Sheltering Assistance, or TSA program, and it pays for hotel rooms for individuals and families who were impacted by Helene. Right now, there are about 1,700 individuals in the TSA program here in Buncombe County. And last night, the state of North Carolina and FEMA announced an extension to the program until December 12th. The program was originally authorized for 60 days until December 3rd. For those staying in one of the TSA hotels, FEMA works on a case-by-case basis with each family as they identify longer-term housing options. And as we get closer to December 12th, we'll continue to evaluate the need to extend the program again. But the most important thing for those who are staying in TSA hotels right now, and honestly, for anyone who continues to have needs, is to stay in touch with FEMA. If FEMA is trying to get in touch with you by either leaving a voicemail or sending text messages, it's extremely important that you respond. We understand that circumstances can change during recovery, and your housing situation might change, or you might have needs now that you didn't have about a month ago. And it's essential that you keep us updated, and we can work to find resources to help. Additionally, for those who receive letters from FEMA and have questions about those letters, please reach out to us. You can call us, you can go online, or visit the Disaster Recovery Center at the Asheville Mall. In many cases, we send letters because we need additional information before providing additional assistance. And most importantly, if you have not yet registered for FEMA assistance, please call us at 1-800-621-3362, or you can apply online at disasterassistance.gov. We know that disaster housing is a challenge right now, and we're leveraging every program we can to provide shelter and longer-term options to those who need it. Buncombe County, the city of Asheville, and the surrounding municipalities have been great partners in our work to offer assistance, as well as the numerous nonprofit organizations here. We know that we're just one part of a much larger team that's working toward solutions for families all across Western North Carolina. Thank you for your time. I'll now turn it back to the county.
And now we'll open it up to questions from the media who are joining us on a separate Zoom. We do have Deborah Campbell here with the city of Asheville to answer questions as well. Okay, while we wait for some questions, a reminder, if you have any Helene related questions, you can call the One Buncombe call center at 828-250-6100, and you can select two as well to ask questions about debris. Are there any questions, Angelica, in the chat?
Do we have anyone available to give an update on lead testing? What has been the wait time and how many lead tests have been processed so far?
Deborah's coming up to answer that question.
Good morning, Deborah Campbell, City of Asheville City Manager. I don't have that information today. If you put it in the chat as a question, we'll get that response back to you. Our day is tomorrow, so we'll give you an update.
Any other questions?
It's John Boyle with Asheville Watchdog. I do have one question for David Uchiyama.
He's coming up here now.
Okay, thank you.
Hello, John.
Good morning, sir. With Thanksgiving approaching, I know it's going to be a huge holiday travel weekend. Are there any particularly hotspot places that y'all are asking people to avoid with the weekend coming up with hot travel?
Not necessarily any spots to avoid, but as we know, I-40 is closing the Pigeon River Gorge, specifically at exit 20. So that means anybody heading west should follow the signs that direct them to I-26, or if they're coming from further east, I-77, and both of those lead to I-81, which will take you west into Tennessee.
All right, thank you.
Any other questions? Great. Just a reminder that there will be no community briefing on Thursday or Friday for the holiday, but we will see you here tomorrow at 11.